everyone, it's Gotham Chick again with another art journaling update. So I'm going to show you the first art journal that I really completed, and this was many years ago. I think I started this, if I'm not mistaken, in 2012, and I think I finished it around 2016. So it was an off and on again. It's an altered book actually. I took just any book, which was a mistake, but I will tell you about it later. So this is an actual book that had fallen apart through the years because as I was making it, because of all the water, there was a lot of water seepage, and I had made the mistake of getting a newer book. I think this was around 1980 or early 1990s book. So the difference is with the newer books, the signatures are not actually sewn together. So they are glued to the spine of the book. And that was a big mistake because what happened was it started falling apart on me, and many times I had to repair it. And when I finally finished it, it just fell off the cover. So I was going to try and create a new cover for the entire thing until I realized I could possibly do something to make the book fit, because it's actually rather thick. See, so it's much wider than the original spine, so it's not going to work. Otherwise I'm going to end up with this kind of a cover. So I have to replace the spine. I've sort of designed a plan to make that happen. I'm going to do an internal cover, remove the spine altogether, and then somehow use the same cover on top of it. So another mistake I made, because I knew I was going to do a lot of watercoloring, was I covered the cloth-bound, hardbound book with masking tape, which is a little difficult to take out now. And when I try to take it out, there's a lot of sticky or adhesive residue that's left behind. It was just too much trouble to try and take it out. So I'm leaving it be. I've already blacked out the title. Don't want to disrespect the author and the publisher. But this was a learning experience, like I said. So I read in one of the blogs that I had consulted after I had begun, and I was like halfway down the altered book, and was that you have to choose the older style binding. And you can check that by looking to see if the signatures are actually sewn together. So in a perfect world, this should have been sewn, but it's not. It's glued together. So most modern books now are bound that way. So another mistake I did, thinking that it would fit in the old cover, in the usual cover, was I did my entries on the cover page. So this is something that I have to work around. Again, I thought I would have to scan, reprint, and then insert it somehow into the new cover. But I think what I'm going to do might actually work. So let me show you what we're doing. So I grabbed some old pressboard folders, and I have cut them up to the size of the cover. So this is one. I'm just trying to find the second piece. This is the middle piece. So we actually need 3 because we need the spine on all sides of these pieces that we're trying to pull together. Oh, third piece is here. So the idea, so we have this, and this. So the spine actually has some use, and it helps that this is already reinforced and extends. What I'm going to do is first put this aside. I intend, I hope it works, to glue this to this end. So as you see, it's going to be like almost practically right at the edge, and the thickness is almost perfect. Okay, so once that's set, I then, since I cannot paste onto this side, it would have been nice. My original idea was to sort of cut this enough to have a hanging portion or have the other side do it. Can't. So once that's set, we're going to do this and overlap. I might cut that extra cardboard out or not. Haven't decided yet. I just do know this is the design. And then finally, we will reinforce by putting this on top of our spine. So I have to figure out how to make that work. And when this is all bound, we will then, after taking the spine out, put the cover, paste the cover on our pressboard folders. Right now I'm thinking, am I going to bind it in faux leather? There's a lot of faux leather adhesives that are available in the market. This is an example of it. There are pieces that are big enough, or I can just pick something that would, you just have to be mindful of the dimensions of the pieces you're buying. I can do that, or I can do a collage. I haven't quite made up my mind yet. And then once it's bound, it's finished, I will do a reveal. So this is a very special art journal for me because I did it during a very difficult time in my life, and it really, really helped me a lot. It helped me to actually be more focused on what I wanted, to see things more clearly, and I'm hoping that going back, I will be able to appreciate and be more thankful. And not that I am not, but it helps you appreciate where you're at, and all that you've accomplished. And sometimes there are lessons in the past that will be a good basis for decisions in the future. So again, as promised, I'm going to do a reveal once this is bound. So I collected a lot of sayings and quotes about happiness. So this is one of the more striking ones that I kept seeing over and over again whenever I Googled quotes for the topic of happiness. If you ever find happiness by hunting for it, you will find it as the old woman did her lost spectacles, safe on her nose all the time. So it's basically just saying it's not too far. You don't have to look far to find it. So I did a lot. There's a lot of course, fold outs. I can't help it. And there was a lot of learning too. So for example, metallic acrylic paint tends to stick to itself. So you have to be more careful. So there are blanks, which I don't mind. This was meant to be sections that I filled in, and then it's chronological more or less because I went from layout to layout, day to day, so, or year to year, unlike my other, the one that followed this, which was sectional. So again, I promise I will do a reveal once I have finished rebinding. Probably the next video will show the finished product, and I will be able to show you how I came up with this. So there's a lot of this that I'm very proud of. And even if there are blanks, yes. This was the story of my altered book. There is always something to be thankful for. So it's a journey to happy and sort of a gratitude journal at the same time. So watch out for the reveal. I hope to do that no later than 4 weeks from now. Maybe in 2 weeks' time, I can finish the reveal video. Here's a look through of how I created the binding and finished this particular altered book.